my very first Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. So I'm pretty excited to get into this, ORAS metagame. I decided to actually start off with Overused. I was like, you know what? I need to use Mega Paul. So I was like, I'm just gonna build a kind of Overused team. And it's a battle against Gohan. So let's go ahead and get it started here. I've got I got a couple pretty interesting Pokemon on this team. I brought back Haydunn. Haydunn still holds his own in freaking Overused. I don't care what you say. He decides to lead off with his Uxie. That's completely fine by me. That's actually what I expected. And my Haydunn is going to go ahead and throw some Stealth Rocks out there. As we both get our rocks up, that's pretty nice. Just kind of standard start here. We both get our Stealth Rocks up. Here he decides to go for a Psychic, and I'm guessing that the reason why he stayed in and went for the Psychic was just to kind of scout out what I was going to do, and to kind of, determine what type of Haydunn I am. Because Haydunns are really versatile. You can actually have a physical defensive one, a specially defensive one, so he was probably going to see how much damage that did, and then be able to base what type of Haydunn I am off of that damage. So he sees that the Psychic doesn't do too much, and I'm clearly a specially defensive ass 8-dick monster. I randomly Haydunn has 8 penises on his head. We're all aware of this fact. We're all aware. So now he's actually gonna U-turn out into the Gliscor, and Gliscor is just an absolute. Oh, actually, I predicted a U-turn, and I went for the Toxic again, so I got 2 Toxics off. I was like, oh sweet. But then he turns out he goes into his freaking Gliscor, who's just gonna be able to benefit from that. He was gonna actually activate his Toxic Orb like 2 minutes later, but hey, I'll give you your Toxic. You enjoy that. That's my Toxic. So he's gonna get his Poison Heal and stuff, and I don't really want Haydunn to be poisoned at this time. My wall, I realized from his team, he can't do much to Haydunn, and I'm like, alright, this is actually perfect. I'm gonna switch into Nipple Knee here, as he goes for a knockoff and knocks off my Choice Scarf, and I'm like, hey man, fuck you. My Nipple Knee was trying to be all fashionable, rocking a nice little scarf, and then you just come out here, and then you just knock it off. Like, you know what, you knock it off, you asshole. I ended up going for a Drain Punch here, as I kind of predicted a switch rather into anything but the Uxie. So that's kind of a bummer there. The Uxie, he probably came in on like a Psycho Shift expectation or something. I wanted to scare that Gliscor away with my Ice Punch, and it works. He gets the Gliscor the hell out of there, brings in the Uxie. Now I realize, you know what, I can't do shit to this Uxie, so I'm gonna switch into Diggersby here. Look at this Diggersby. I've never used one of these things before, but it actually is pretty fucking awesome. The Thunder Wave is not going to affect my Ground Bunny, and I'm like, yes, plans are going accordingly. If you can get Diggersby in safely, you can just start demolishing shit. Look at these ears, man. Look at these ears. You already heard the spiel about fucking Diggersby with Shopu back in the X and Y game and shit like that. You know what I mean? But anyways, he's gonna bring back out the Gliscor, and he's gonna take a return to the face, and that actually does a lot of damage there. Look at that damage, but he actually gets a dick load back from the Poison Heal. Here I misclick. I'm really pissed off at myself. I went for the Quick Attack rather than the return. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Sometimes I click the wrong shit. I don't know. I misclick on the Quick Attack. Not too big of a deal overall, because he's not able to do too much to Diggersby here. As now he's just gonna go for a Protect, doing his freaking. Everybody knows how Gliscor does its stupid lame Protect, Poison, bullshit. I mean, I hate this thing. I've used it a couple times. I'll give it to you. It's an amazing Pokemon. It's really good in competitive scene, but I freaking hate battling against it, and it just makes me sick looking at these damn Poison Gliscors. Here I'm gonna bring out Paul. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna bring out motherfucking Paul on him, because you're not gonna be able to do a damn thing. But he actually goes for a knockoff. Really doesn't do too much, but you can't knock off a Pokemon that's holding a Mega Stone. So that's perfect. Now I'm gonna Mega Evolve into a weird Beyblade looking Slowbro. Paul is not looking too happy about being eaten alive by his tail, but whatever. I actually predicted a switch here, and I went for the Psyshock rather than the Scald, as he just went for the poison on my Paul. So that's kind of a bummer. Paul's looking nice and poisoned, but overall we should still be able to do some shit. I do have Slack Off on this Paul, so I can get a lot of HP back and stuff like that. So I actually went for the Psyshock on the Gliscor originally because I expected to switch into the Florges, right? So then I go for the Scald thing, and he's gonna stay in with the freaking Gliscor again. And guess what? Now the Florges comes out. So I'm like, well, titties all over the place. I'm getting what the fuck? That did not go according to plan. The Florges is actually just gonna go for an Aromatherapy here, as that's gonna go ahead and heal up the poison on the Uxie. The one from the Gliscor that doesn't matter, and he's gonna get rid of his burn. So that's kind of lame. Now I'm gonna go for a Psyshock, as I want to hit this thing for physical damage, and it actually did not do too much at all. No damage. Come on, Paul. you gotta get some Calm Minds up. I've noticed with this Mega Slowbro set for sure to make it extremely effective. The poison knocks me down to 69 HP. Paul just chilling, 69, and you know what I mean, doing his thing. As these, this stupid Florges is gonna go for a damn wish. As this next Psyshock is not enough to kill this guy, so that's kind of a real bummer. Paul actually, you know, did not come as in handy as I was expecting in this first match. But I switch him out, save him for later. You know, screw it. I'm gonna save that motherfucker. As now I bring in the Pimp Crow, as I know he's gonna protect. He's obviously gonna protect. So you know, I was like, you know what? I have a free switch in Pimp Crow here. I can go ahead and scare him away with the Brave Bird. But then I was like, you know what? He's probably gonna switch in the Gliscor. But then I was also like, you know what? That's probably still gonna fucking demolish this thing. So he takes the Stealth Rocks damage, puts him under half, and check out this Life Orb Punch Crow damage right here. Brave Bird is gonna kill the Gliscor. And that is an extremely powerful threat that I no longer have to deal with, which is awesome. Thank you, Pimp Crow. I also get a Moxie in the process, so I'm sitting pretty solid here. Pimp Crow's at +1 attack. I have a pretty decent advantage on a lot of his Pokemon here. So now he brings in the Suicune, as something kind of lame happens here. He's gonna get his pressure and all that kind of stuff. But I go for a Brave Bird. A +1 Brave Bird from a Honch Crow is not supposed to one-hit KO this, I'm guessing, physically defensive Suicune. But I do get a critical hit, and that was actually pretty lame. Critical hits sometimes, they'll fuck you. And, you know, Gohan learned that firsthand right there. As Pimp Crow is going to get another Moxie, but unfortunately I only have 1 attack left in me with the Life Orb. So that's kind of lame. But anyways, he's going to bring in the Excadrill, who is basically just going to come out here and die, as he's going to be floating there with his air balloon. But hey, Honch Crow does not give a shit. Night Slash to the face. And that is easily going to kill the Excadrill. So Honch Crow came in and got a little mid-game sweep going on. That's what Honch Crow's for. He's putting in work lately. I fucking love this Honch Crow. I used to use this back when X and Y started, and he was actually pretty effective. Honch Crow will always just be a badass Pokemon. Let's be real here. So I'm gonna bring out Nipple Knee. We had an empty field here, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring out Nipple Knee, not realizing that I actually lost my Choice Scarf. I completely forgot about that at this part in the battle. So I was actually under the impression that I'm still Choice Scarfed, but, you know, actually, you know, it wouldn't really even matter, honestly. This is Manectric's gonna come out here. He's gonna Mega Evolve, turn into a, you know, spiky Cornelius-looking dude, as he's gonna go ahead and get an Intimidate off on me. And he actually goes for the Hidden Power, which I was pretty excited about. I think he went for the Hidden Power Ice, predicting a switch, but I just stayed in, went for the Psycho Cuts after the Intimidate. Is not gonna do a damn thing. And then I actually went for the Bullet Punch just to get a little bit last-ditch damage, because I was kind of just sacking Nipple Knee at this point. I was like, you know what, Nipple Knee, you've done me well, but I just went for the Bullet Punch, as he's gonna go ahead and kill me with a Volt Switch. And when people kill you with switch moves, it's actually quite ideal, because they have to send in a Pokemon, and then you can kind of judge your switch depending on what they sent in. So he decides to send in his Uxie here. It's no longer toxic because of that freaking aromatherapy from the stupid flowered Florges thingy. As I'm gonna bring out Slime Shady. I feel like Slime Shady can, you know, I can't really get too hurt by a Uxie, except I can't really do that much damage. Slime Shady does not have the ideal special attack to be destroying Uxies, but you know, I go for a Dragon Pulse anyways after he T-Waves me, and it's looking like the Dragon Pulse is gonna be like a 3-hit KO. And I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to just go for it. He's gonna actually go for a U-turn. He realizes he cannot do a damn thing to Slime Shady. Like most people realized, Slime Shady is too motherfucking bulky. As I get the Gooey, but it doesn't really matter. And he's gonna go ahead and switch into guess who? The stupid Florges, who's going to go ahead and absorb a Dragon Pulse. So predicts a Dragon Pulse, is able to get his Fairy in nicely, and I'm like in a pretty bad position. So I'm like, you know what? Shit, I'm gonna switch into Cradilly, as I don't really know what this Florges can do. He can't really hurt my Cradilly much. I know he's probably gonna run Moonblast, but with a specially defensive Cradilly, can't really hurt him too bad. So honestly, I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna stay in here. I'm gonna soak up some leftovers. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for, I believe I go for the Toxic here, as he's gonna bring back in the Uxie. He wants the Uxie in against this Cradilly, because he knows you can at least U-turn out for some pretty clean damage and stuff. I'm gonna go for the Toxic. Take that, you gold weird floating pixie thingy. So the Uxie is poisoned yet again, but unfortunately he gets the wish. That's why he brought the freaking Uxie in, to get the wish from his Florges. So the Uxie's back to like full health, and I'm like, well, shitty titties. I'm not in, you know, Cradilly can't really do too much here. I have Giga Drain as my only attacking move, so I can't really do too much. As he's gonna go for a Thunder Wave. This dude likes paralyzing things, you know, no big deal, just paralyzing shit. As Cradilly's actually just gonna go for a Giga Drain. I said, screw it, I might as well attack. At this point, this Uxie's poisoned, and it's only actually a matter of time until he brings in the stupid Florges again. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay in here. At least he didn't have Toxic on Cradilly. That was a pretty major thing there. If he went for the Toxic on Cradilly, I would have been pretty royally fucked, but luckily he just paralyzed me. And Cradilly's not fast anyways, so I don't really care about the paralysis. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch in my Diggersby. I realize, hey, he might go for a U-turn or something, and I can definitely live that. And then I'd be able to have, you know, a nice little Diggersby. A nice little Diggersby to destroy whatever the hell he wants to send in. So I do live that with 4 HP, and I'm like, holy shit, thank God. Get this guy some Trick cereal. Like, I know Trix is for kids, Bunny, but you can have it today. Honestly, shit. He actually brings in the Florges here, which kind of lures me into going for the return, which is kind of a real bummer, because as you see, he switches back in his Uxie, who's going to take the return damage, and it actually ends up killing it, but I end up killing myself in the process. So my Diggersby is going to go ahead and, you know, commit suicide. Sorry about that, Diggersby. Life Orb's really coming back to bite me today. I don't know what it is, man. Life Orbs are freaking get me. Anyways, I realized he has 2 Pokemon left. It's the Manectric and then the Florges. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to send in Paul, see what he wants to send in. He actually ends up going into the Manectric, which is completely fine. I just sent in Paul because I knew I was going to die to Stealth Rocks. So Paul did not do as well as I had hoped in this match. And I apologize for that, Paul. But later, you shall thrive. Anyways, I'm going to bring in Slime Shady in against this Manectric, as he's going to go ahead and go for the Hidden Power Ice, I would presume, as that's not really going to do too much to me at all. I'm Salt Vested, I'm a freaking Goodra. What do you expect, man? What do you expect? So I end up just going for the Ice Beam. It is going to kill the Manectric, and it is my Goodra and my Cradilly versus this Florges here. And if you know anything about Florges, these things are extremely annoying in that they have Wish, Protect, freaking Dazzling Gleam, and then Aromatherapy usually. So even if you can get a status condition on it, it'll just get it right out of there. So I actually end up getting a critical hit with a Thunderbolt that almost ended up killing it, and I was like, holy shit, that would have made my life so easy. Yet, here is where the stalling starts. So he tried to go for the Protect. He's gonna get his Wish back, as Cradilly's sitting out here. I'm thinking about it, and honestly, he does not have a single thing to do to touch me, honestly. So I was like, you know what, Cradilly, as long as I can keep more recovers on you than he has wishes or whatever, we might be able to pull this win out of our asses. I was like, you know what? Usually when it comes to stalls like this, I honestly usually just get over it and run just to end the battle. But I was like, no, Cradilly, we're gonna fucking win this shit today. We're gonna go in. So Rocky, fucking Eye of the Tiger starts playing. We're getting all intense with it. So I got a Toxic up on this thing, and I know he can Aromatherapy it away at like about any time. So that's kind of annoying. I go for the Recover just to show him that, hey, I can get all of this health back at any time. I have like 15 recovers. So he's actually used quite a few wishes already. So honestly, it's kind of a PP stall at this point. I'm just gonna stall out those power points. I know that Aromatherapy only has, I think it's 5 power points or something like that. Maybe if you have PP Max, it has a lot more. But he already used a couple earlier in the match, so I figured if I can get to the point where he has no more Aromatherapies, I might be able to win this. So I was like, you know what? Seeing that Dazzling Gleam damage, you can't touch Cradildo. You just can't touch me, as I can just sit here and Giga Drain, but that's not going to do any damage at all. But anyways, basically for the rest of the match here, what is going to happen is like 30 turns of stalling. 30 turns of like PP stalling, honestly. Sometimes it comes down to that. Honestly, Cradilly, in the end, I will give you a little spoiler. I do end up coming out victorious because he does run out of power points for Aromatherapy, and then at that point, he would have just died to Toxic. So he ends up fleeing, but I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward the shit out of this whole stalling session. And I thank you guys for watching. If you could click a thumbs up on this video, I will have a whole bunch more Wi-Fi battles up really soon. Also, let me know if you enjoy seeing me playing Overused a little bit. Sometimes I realize I tend to stay away from Overused just because it gets really repetitive, but I'm thinking for a little while at least to try out some new megas and stuff. I might mess around in the Overused tier or whatever. So yeah, leave a comment, tell me what you think. I'm just going to continue toxicking the shit out of this floor just like all night. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.